So, first of all, I guess I should probably ask you, do you mind if I continue with the president theme?
Oh, yeah, whatever you want, man. It's your show.
All right, great. So, Mr. President, you're about halfway through your first NBA season. Are the pressures and the back-to-backs getting to you yet?
Oh, man, I mean, it's definitely a transition. I wouldn't say it's getting to me, though. I mean, I have such great teammates who help keep me focused.
Speaking of teammates, I want to talk a little bit about this orange juice thing you have with Justice.
Oh, it's not a thing, man. It's orange juice. It's a feeling. It's a moment. It's us.
So it's like the Quan, like a Jerry Maguire thing.
What? Who?
Man, I am old. Never mind. I think I get it. I'll send you a copy of the movie.
Okay, yeah.
But seriously, how long before you're in the conversation with Curry, Durant, LeBron? I mean, that has to be a goal, right?
I mean, I would love to be in the conversation with those guys, you know? I don't know. I feel like really my only goal is just to fulfill my potential so that when I leave, when I stop playing basketball, I don't have any regrets, you know? But for team, speaking about our team, the only thing that's important to me is winning. And I feel like I'm really lucky to have a guy like Justice on the squad. Feel like we're really building some special dynamic. And I have no doubts, I said it here live on your TV show first, that we are going to be a really strong force in this league.
I think you're going to be right about that. Best of luck to you, man.
All right, man. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for doing this.
Yeah, anytime.
No doubts.
Did they get that?
What do you need?
I don't know, man. My leg just feels a little weak, a little tired.
Tired, huh? Are you in pain?
No, it's not that. It just feels a little funny.
Funny? Lay back.
Yep, right there. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It just feels a little weak. You know, like if you sprain your finger, but like not quite that. I don't know. I mean, it feels stretched.
Well, you probably pulled a hamstring. We'll take some x-rays and see exactly what's going on.
What's that mean?
Well, if it's just an hamstring, you're going to have to probably sit out a few games, maybe a week.
Can I play on it?
You could. I wouldn't advise it. These things will only get worse if you aren't patient with them.
All right, man. I mean, I don't want it to linger, and you haven't been wrong yet, so...
That's very wise.
I just don't want to sit out.
Don't worry, I'll get you some chips.
Some donuts, too?
That's what it takes. All right, extend your arms. I want to squat and a hop. Keep your abs tight. One more time. Feels good?
Better than before.
Good. Glad you sat out then?
No, not really.
Well, you have my stamp of approval. The x-rays look good and your range of motion is back where it needs to be. I think you're ready to get back on the court.
It's great news, man.
Yeah.
Back in business.
You are the business.
All right, I gotta get to practice.
All right, see ya.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations.
The 2K Sports pregame show, sponsored by Kia.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks up against the Memphis Grizzlies. And for Memphis, the game tonight marks their second of 4 meetings they will play this season, and they come into this one feeling pretty good after winning the last time they met. And guys, Zach Randolph in this game tonight, he's always been the first guy that comes to mind when you think about those blue-collar guys who grind it out underneath. In this kind of style of play, is it still viable in the NBA?
Well, you know, he's one of those rare power forwards that, you know, still plays inside and posts up, scores. You know what, Ernie?
What?
He might be extinct. He's one of the last of the dying breed of post-up big guys.
Most modern power forwards have developed a little more range, but it's still possible to dominate while playing only in the paint. I know I did it a long time ago. Don't want to talk about myself. We're talking about Zach Randolph right now.
And that'll do it for us here. Again, thank you for not talking about yourself anymore.
Because I would have to pay Kenny $100.
It's an all-Western Conference matchup in today's game as the Grizzlies come into town for this one. Mucho gusto, and welcome to Noche Latina on 2K Sports. From the jerseys to the food to the halftime entertainment tonight, a distinctive Latin flavor. And our broadcast team tonight, Greg Anthony here to my left and Steve Smith to my right, and the Hall of Famer David Aldridge along the sideline. We look at the Mavericks winning their last 3 games. They'd like to make that 4 in a row here tonight.
And nothing better than when you can fit the system and the talent. I mean, win after win. I tell you what this is telling me is the team is playing with tremendous confidence.
They just look like they're on the same page. Everyone on this squad has the same goal in mind. Just win, baby.
And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, Mavs head coach Rick Carlisle is known for his command of X's and O's, and he demands the same from his players. He tests them with tablets. They're shown a clip, it freezes, and then they're asked what they should do next. Zaza Pachulia said, I was like, come on, a test? I did this in school, but not in basketball. But it works. You take the tests, and you start to remember things better. Evan?
Great stuff, DA. Thank you. What I like about these two teams, Steve, they've got a wealth of experience. A lot of veteran savvy out there.
Kevin, historically, if you go back, teams with guys that have more veterans usually win championships.
You will lost.
Older guys, but they just know how to get it done.
Dirk Nowitzki, the oldie goalie.
So Dallas will get the first possession. Now we'll look at Memphis's starting group. Down low, the tough pair of Zebo and Gasol. Young is out there with Prez. And it's Parsons in at the 3 spot. And he makes that one.
Just awesome work from Bogut. He really moves the ball on offense and gets his teammates involved.
Some nice passing there by Memphis. Here's Randolph. And off the front iron, and in it goes.
I don't know. Maybe they're still working out the kinks on D because that clearly was a breakdown.
Well, on defensive end as a team, you must be on the same page. On that possession, they were not.
Now here's Nowitzki. Last time, 14 points for him. Rejected by Gasol. And now Parsons pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Parsons got an edge on the defender, and he slammed it down at the rim.
And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Now here's Barea. He's tightly guarded. Here's the dish to Williams. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Williams. Dallas on defense. They are off that win against Atlanta.
Yeah, the confidence just exuding in that performance on the offensive end. I mean, really illustrates how this team clicks when guys are communicating and executing as a cohesive unit.
Team chemistry goes a long way in terms of overall team success, and this group exudes that every game.
Here's Williams after the made shot from Zach Randolph. Out left to the wing. Clock at 6. And stolen by Parsons. And now the Grizzlies. Fast break. Parsons running. Feeds to Prez. This one for 3. Trains the 3-pointer. Prez has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And when Coach Fizdale came to Memphis, he did so because he thought this team was very close to getting to the next level. It makes sense, as that is why the Grizzlies, Smitty, have looked to a different coach in the first place.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he left Miami to rebuild. I mean, he had South Beach and everything. You just don't want to leave that. I think for him, as he looked at it, is we have some veteran presence on the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies can win now. It's not time for a full rebuild. And that was a heat check right there. First miss of the night, but still shooting 80% as a team.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
Now here's Gasol.
He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Phoenix.
He really did an outstanding job setting up his teammates as well. The defense could not figure out where the ball was going to go next.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Now here's Barea, guarded closer. Bogut kicks to Barea, 6 to shoot. And he hits the jump shot. Barea's got his second basket of the game. Memphis with the ball, stringing it together. They've got an 11-2 run going. Young outside. Back to Parsons. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Prez, no good. Well, it was the Memphis Grizzlies winning their last game against Phoenix.
And the thing I took away from that one was just how valuable their guys coming off the bench were.
Depth is a huge component to any team's success, and this is a team loaded with talent.
Here's Gasol. Harrison Barnes picking up that last basket. Prez with the bucket.
And you got to admire the attitude of Prez, staying with his shot despite the D being all over.
It's stolen by Prez. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
This is his first trip to the line tonight. He misses the free throw.
The Memphis Grizzlies, as we know, the Grizzlies have been grit and grind, slowing the basketball up, pounding it inside. But you have to ask the question, are they behind the curve the way the league is playing right now?
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Measury, he's checked in for Bogut. Arthur comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Barnes. And Evan Harris is subbed in for J.J. Barea. And the second free throw, good.
Maybe saw that one pop.
And the Grizzlies' high water mark was in 2013 when they won 56 games in the regular season. And then Steve made it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yes, this team has age and they've had some injuries, but I still think it's time to create more roster versatility. They need to adapt to different styles and make sure the matchups work to their advantage.
Here's Davis after the Mavericks pick up 3. Fred. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. And it's 8 points for Prez.
And Prez scores from anywhere, inside, outside. This guy does it all.
Here's Arthur. And another basket for Dallas.
Once he realized who was on him, he confidently went straight up and sunk that easy look.
Prez kicks to Ennis. Dishes it to Wright. Young outside. Pass to Prez. He feeds it to Wright. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Prez. Great look there, but off target.
Yeah, great look, but disappointing with the miss.
Yeah, but he has to take that shot 10 out of 10 times. It was right there for him.
And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Grizzlies lead by 5. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time scoring rankings. He talked about the remarkable journey of his long and illustrious career.
When I first got here, my first year was so tough that I didn't really know that I can make it in this league. To be named with all these names is an unbelievable honor, and it's been a crazy ride.
Dirk has proven himself through the test of time, as tough as it may have been back in the day. Those obstacles to become this elite NBA player destined for the Hall of Fame.
And people do talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. You're right about that. And that's a type any team would like to have. You know, one of the greatest power forwards in the NBA's history.
And buenas noches, basketball fans. It's Latin night here on 2K Sports. And you might have noticed the custom jerseys worn by the players. And for Memphis guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
You always like it when your team doesn't settle for outside shots, and that's been the case here early on.
In reality, they can get those perimeter shots anytime they want to. Instead, they are really zipping it around and getting good, high-quality shots from all over the floor.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the floor for Dallas, we've got Darren Williams, Wilson Chandler out there with Arthur. Then there's his, and it's Mejri in at the 5. And in a lot of ways, the game today is not as rough as it was back when you played, Steve, in the 90s. But when you look at the current players, and I'm sure you've got a couple names, who are the most physical players you see in the league now?
Let's start with the point guard position. I like Chris Paul, Patrick Beverly. On the 2-guard position, Tony Allen's very physical. Matt Barnes, Jay Crowder, power forward, Draymond Green. Zach Randolph is a physical guy.
Isn't he tough?
Steven Adams, we've shown that he's pretty tough. Those are some of the names I'm throwing out right there.
In his day, Kendrick Perkins at that center position. In fact, Oklahoma City got him just for that reason alone.
Yeah, you got some guys
to intimidate.
To intimidate, yes, for sure.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, the league and NBA teams have become much more aware of protecting players' health, and they're finding out that rest and sleep are a huge part of that. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr said medicine and science have improved, and thought processes do as well. He said in the old days, guys played 48 minutes. Well, we've made advances. We don't go backwards with this stuff. We go forwards. Guys, that's why they want their players off their feet as much as possible.
Good report, GA. Thank you.
And with Dirk Nowitzki setting screens in the pick and pop and Coach Rick Carlisle's schemes, the Mavericks always have the foundation for a terrific offense.
And the first one drops. And the Mavericks with great ball movement and player movement, and they limit the turnovers.
Yeah, a disciplined group. They have a clear concept of what they're trying to do, and one of the top teams in the league in terms of catch and shoot attempts. They keep it moving side to side, and the players off the ball stay in constant motion.
And both free throws good for Davis.
You have to respect the continuity and consistency of the Grizzlies. Since the beginning of the grit and grind era, 6 consecutive playoff appearances. That's second longest streak in the league, only to the San Antonio Spurs.
Now here's Chandler. He's coming off a 19-point game against Atlanta. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And for a franchise that was once one of the NBA's worst, you can't take for granted the success the Grizzlies have enjoyed in recent years.
The first 15 years in this league, they had never won a playoff game.
Take a break.
In the last 6 seasons, 27 playoff wins. It's not an NBA title, but it matters.
First one falls for him. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Jarrell Arthur. So he's also changing it up. Zach Randolph is checked in for Davis, and Parsons subbed in for Baldwin. He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Parsons with the easy release to drill home the 3.
Barea kicks to Chandler. The pass to Nowitzki. With the fadeaway. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. And here are the Grizzlies now. They're on a 9-1 run. Conley against Barea. Poked loose. Here's Randolph, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. That one on Chandler.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
The Grizzlies shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
That one is off.
You know, over the years, Zach Randolph has proven to be the perfect leader. He commands respect, and he gets it from his teammates.
And Memphis making a change here. Levens is checked in. And he's good on the second.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
Now here is Harris. He's covered by Daniels. Harris passes to Barea. Kicks to Chandler. Nowitzki with the screen on Randolph. And the shot is good. The Grizzly lead has been cut down now to just 9 in the basket from Chandler.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
You know, that job of getting through screen is not pretty, but somebody has to do it.
Levens kicks to Randolph. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
And at this point of the season, Steve, for teams that know they'll be back in the postseason, they're trying to fine-tune everything as the season winds down, trying to get the rotations down.
You know what? It's a huge balance. Do you keep playing your guys? Do you rest guys? You're trying to find that balance to keep them going.
What's the answer?
I think you keep playing. I'm not a component of resting guys. I think you keep playing. And obviously, maybe take some practices off, but I think you keep playing in games, and maybe you bring them out of games earlier versus just flat-out resting them.
Now, here's Barea. He played real well against Atlanta in that last game. Screen by Bogut. That's a 2 from Barnes. Good, and it's Barea who picks up the assist. Barnes has got his second basket of the game.
He smiles on these catch-and-shoot opportunities. Barnes very comfortable as a secondary scorer.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Now, here's Barea. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. Here's Harris. Down by 12.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
He kicks it to Barea. And stolen by Levens. And here we go. Levens heading to the hoop. Lays it in off the breakaway.
It's as if the defense just let him go.
I think, you know what? He sniffed out the opportunity on the break. That's called cherry picking.
32 seconds left now here in the second. Barea kicks to Barnes. Shot clock at 6. Screen by Bogut. Off the screen. Barnes with another miss.
He's using money for mid-range, but the defender got up in his shirt, took him out of rhythm.
Parsons outside. Levens kicks to Randolph. Here's Daniels. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
Love seeing Zach Randolph spread the wealth, not just a banger down low, but a decent distributor as well.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. It's the Grizzlies as they end the second quarter on a 20-6 run. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks. Rick, what do you not like about how your team is playing so far?
Went into it, we missed a block out. We were taking a couple of bad shots, so we just need to refocus. Key in this game, we got to take away their open jump shots and threes, and we got to rebound.
Rick, thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
Bring it in, guys. Hey, great work in the first half. I like what I see out there, fellas. We're playing like we want it more than them. Now stay focused, guys. Let's win this game and go home.
The skyline of Dallas illuminating the night sky as we welcome you back to the Lone Star State. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Nice game, great performance by Prez.
And, you know, not always the guy that you would expect to be making the big plays, but so far tonight, he has delivered.
Here's Prez. 17-point lead, their biggest. Tipping off the second half, here's David Fizdale's 5. Down low, the tough pair of Zebo and Gasol. Prez out there with Young. And it's Parsons in at the small forward. Now here's Prez. Count it. Prez has got the first points of the second half here for the Grizzlies.
Prez is very difficult to guard, especially when he's pulling up on a dime like that.
Barea kicks to Bogut. On the wing, Barnes. Bogut with a screen on Parsons. Offensive rebound. Here's Nowitzki. Pass to Barea. Looks for Nowitzki. Gets it to him. Goes back up. It's good. Great play set up by Barea.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score. And Dirk Nowitzki, wow, just continues to climb that all-time scoring list. You know, now he's in the top 10. And, you know, I think he could get to the top 5 before it's all said and done. And a lot of times we view greatness based on that window where they're at their very best. But you also can view it when you look at guys who can sustain a level of excellence for a long period of time. And that's what I think really separates Dirk Nowitzki from so many others.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Andrew Bogut is an elite defensive big man. He said, where I affect the game is the little things. Blocking shots, being a good help side guy, communicating, setting good screens, just doing little things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Kevin, when he sees opponents hesitate to go inside, that's when he knows he's doing a good job.
Thanks, D.A. He's a presence. And Nowitzki alongside Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, and Kobe Bryant as the only players to score 27,000 points or more with one franchise.
Kevin, you think of the Mavericks, you think of Nowitzki. I mean, the greatest Maverick player ever. He's up there with Hakeem Olajuwon as the 2 greatest international players in league history.
Look for Dallas. Measury, he's checked in for Bogut. Arthur comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Wilson Chandler's subbed in for Harrison Barnes. Then for the Grizzlies, White, he's checked in for Gasol. Davis comes in for Zach Randolph. And it's James Edison for Chandler Parsons. Now here's Barea. Chandler dishes to Barea. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Williams in the post, defended by Young.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. And stolen by Arthur.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
Here's Barea. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Barea's got 6.
It doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
He thrives in the open court. Such an aggressive finisher. I love the dunking skills of Brandon Wright. He really skies up quickly anytime a pass is lobbed in his direction.
That's tipped. Measury, the pass to Williams. Measury kicks to Williams. Now here's Barea. He's covered closely. Buries the long-range jumper. 9 points in the game so far. And Smitty, you were just starting in the league when NBA basketball games were becoming what they are today in the 90s. The popularity of the game has just increased so substantially. Was it strange to see yourself being portrayed in video games as we see now? And how did you react to it?
Very humbling, Kevin, to get a chance to see yourself, your name being called in the video game. But what I did like, Kevin, I was so skinny, and the video game had me looking buff with muscles and everything. So I like that.
You look pretty good right now.
Yeah, that's because you're my friend.
And here are the Mavericks now, following the score by Memphis. The 11-footer, Mejri, the rebound by Young.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Mavericks trailed by 18. Williams dishes to Barea. Passes it to Chandler. They set the pick. And he comes off the screen up with a jump shot. Chandler's got his second bucket tonight.
Not the best pick I've ever seen, but it was just enough to get the job done.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. Last time they met was in Dallas, where they beat the Mavericks.
And in the last face-off against these guys, they enjoyed a huge advantage in free throw percentage.
Evan Harris is checked in for Dallas. And a chance to compare steals versus fouls over the last 5 games and the season as a whole for Conley.
And what that trend over the last 5 games tells me is that he's gotten a little bit out of control at the defensive end. You like to see guys going for steals and trying to make an impact with their D, but when it leads to the foul numbers blowing up, that impact becomes a negative one.
He dishes it to Daniels. The feed now to Wright. Pass to Daniels. Back to Wright. Shot clock at 5. Ennis kicks to Daniels.
Well, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Two shots.
No good on that one. Marcus All's checked in for Memphis. And he sinks the second. Mavericks trail by 17. Now Williams. The scoring numbers have been solid for him. He's averaging just under 14 points a game. Nice shot by Arthur.
They might be behind, but you can't blame him. He has been spectacular so far in this one.
And so it's Memphis with it after the Mavericks pick up 3. Now the dish to Conley. Five to shoot. Feeds it to Gasol. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet.
Having a 7-footer like Gasol who can hit the mid-range jump shot is huge. Really opens up the floor for his guys.
Arthur kicks to Harris. Dishes to Williams. 24 seconds left to play here in the third. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Offensive rebound. Mesri. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. Dallas shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
And he knocks down the first one. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Now here's Prez. Guarded by Harris. Gasol, no good.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
1 second left. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
Nice shot there without a second to spare.
Great court awareness on how much time was left on the clock.
Rick Carlisle had some words for his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
We got to have a presence in the lane. Remember, no layups, no layups, no layups.
Rick Carlisle making rim protection a key priority. You heard right there. We'll see if they can really shut down the paint.
And to achieve what the coach wants, it's going to take a lot of communication defensively. Guys helping one another on the floor.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. J.J. Barea is out there with Harris. Then there's Harrison Barnes. Then it's Bogut. And it's Nowitzki in at the power forwards position. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Down to 5 on the shot clock. That's a 2 from Barnes. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
It's rebounded by Dallas.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Lets it go from deep. It's rebounded by Randolph. And the Grizzlies leading by 12 for 3. And another miss by Memphis.
And that's rough. He did have 3 in the first half, but hasn't had one since.
Harris laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Harris has got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Mavs. Prez passes to Randolph. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Parsons dishes to Prez. The 11-footer lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. And the Grizzlies lead by 12. And defensively, Steve, these days more and more teams are looking to switch screen rolls. Why is that?
Because of the new rules, Kevin. I mean, you look at it now, defenses can play a little bit of a zone. I think back in the day, imagine me switching out on Shaq. He'll go right into the blocks, and you couldn't have a guy come over unless he had the basketball. But right now, you can play more of a zone. So if teams who have multiple guys that can switch and defend multiple positions, they have an advantage.
Well, that's the thing that these teams want to get now. These players that are versatile play 3-4 positions sometimes, so they can do just what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, you have guys like Draymond Green can guard 1 through 5. That just has to be a luxury.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
LeBron, another one. He can guard all 5 positions.
He can guard everything.
Steve is a player who spent so many years in the league. Were career milestones such as 10,000 points or 500 games played a big deal to a player at all, those individual milestone numbers?
No, not those type of numbers, Kevin. I think more importantly, the number of years you played. And I think for a lot of guys, how many wins you have. I think those are the numbers you really
All-star
look at.
appearances?
Sometimes all-star, yeah.
And certainly championships.
Championships for sure.
And you've got one. And you've got
one and one.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Williams has checked in. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Rick Carlisle's huddle. He got on him. He said he's got to see more intensity. He said we've put ourselves in this hole, and we've got to work our way out of it. Show me you've got what it takes, guys.
About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. And it goes down 2 points.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the float.
And the Grizzlies leading by 10. And Young kicks to Randall. He feeds it to Parsons. And Parsons slams it in.
This is when I like Parsons the most, when he's not settling and attacking the basket.
Dallas has gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. And the call will be against Prez.
I'm Prez.
That's his first foul.
steal.
Wilson Chandler's checked in for Harrison Barnes.
Wilson Chandler.
And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Nowitzki kicks to Williams. Just 5 to shoot. This one for 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. Randolph's got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Prez. And the rebound goes to Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
You know, even though he's been off the mark this quarter, he's trying not to let it shake his confidence.
Now Prez. Wilson Chandler missing from long range. Randolph passes to Prez. Young outside. And it's Prez, top of the key. Back to Young. Tries a 3. That one misses. Now Dallas takes it the other way. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket. And you don't like to concede the free throws, but it's better than getting flushed on.
Okay.
That free throw, no good. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. And now here comes Young leading the break. That's good from Prez on the assist from Young. Young's got 3 assists now in this one. Now here's Barea. He's guarded closely. Chance Green. Knocked loose. Here's Prez. Look at Prez there just punishing the rim.
Oh, and you love the ferocity that Prez finished that playoff with. No layups for the big fella.
Barea dishes to Williams. Nowitzki a screen. Williams with the ball. And Young picks him up defensively. Williams kicks to Nowitzki. 6 on the shot clock. The Mavericks rebound. Barea. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Okay.
No good on the free throw. Well, all over the league, we're seeing more and more teams rely on analytics and data for decision making. How do you think, Smitty, the data affects the way the modern NBA game is run by the front offices?
You know, I think it's too much at times, Kevin, and sometimes I challenge it. I think when you're scouting a player coming out of college, I think it's great. But I think sometimes I've challenged. Some people say, well, Smitty, you never posted up on the left block.
Right.
That was Tim Duncan's block. I cannot have
That's
anything.
why you couldn't go on the left.
I'm not going to have the same numbers on a certain block because the guys you play with kind of dictates where you score from on the floor.
Now here's Parsons. Prez kicks to Randolph. Memphis moving that ball around. Chalk up 2 there. And the Grizzlies lead by 17.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Grizzlies.
This was a physical game.
Yeah, I mean, they were aware of the rotations defensively and were able to attack the rim.
And these guys have played very well this season, and this win tonight, guys will push their win column up to 55.
And once the horn sounds, they're going to go up 2-0 in the season series. A fantastic show.
Just like that.
And what an amazing all-around game it was for Randolph. He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
Barea kicks to Nowitzki. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Zach Randolph.
22 Punkte, das ist schon Wahnsinn.
And he knocks down the first one. And so Nowitzki nails both of them. Prez with the ball. Young outside. It's stolen by Harris. Oh, and here we go with Gibson. Nobody back. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris. And Young kicks to Prez. Outside, Davis. The pass to Young. To the left wing. Outside, Davis. So no problem for Memphis as they get the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time GA this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. Now for Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
Jawohl.
Yo, Steve.
What's going on, Prez? Ernie and the guys in the studio want to talk to you.
All right, let's get it.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Player of the game.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, as we present our Jordan Player of the Game. Prez.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Kenny, man. Great going tonight with your scoring. Did you come into the game with the mentality of saying, you know what, I'm going to be more aggressive tonight?
I mean, I was just trying to do my best to work within coach's system. When you do what you're supposed to, the offense almost always takes care of itself, just like you saw from me tonight. So, bottom line, I'm just glad we got the win.
Great win, man. Keep up that mentality and keep working hard, kid.
All right. Thanks, guys.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.